right now you're living in Wooddale. Did you always grow up around there?
Yes, I grew up in Wooddale for my entire life. We were in the same house, and then I moved next door.
Alright, what made you decide to continue living around here now?
I stayed in Wooddale because that's where I worked, that's where I grew up, that's where my friends were, and it's close to all the things that I like to do.
Okay. So that's what made you decide living there. What's the best thing you'd say is about Wooddale?
Wooddale is still a rural community. It's not the big city type thing yet. There's not a lot of problems that you get with the city. It's more of a country type place. You can just leave your doors unlocked and wander around and not worry about who's doing what so far.
Okay. I know that growing up you had 3 siblings. Which siblings were you closest to?
My brother Mark, and then my brother Paul, and then Laurel, because boys play together.
What made you so close with them?
Mark and I were only a year and 8 months apart, so we were into the same things. We watched the same shows, we did the same things, we played football together and all that kind of stuff. We were forced to be together because we were so close in age.
Yeah. Which siblings would you say you're least closest with?
My sister Laurel, because she's 5 years older than me, and being a girl, she's got different interests, and I think she's probably a little smarter than me and has different interests that way. She's more intellectual.
Do you think you're closer to her now?
Absolutely. As you grow older, the differences in the things that you do become less. Like you and Matt will probably get closer as the years go by, and you find things in common.
Alright. Well, who did you look up to the most?
Mark, the older brother,
No.
because he seemed to know what was going on. He was always ahead of me.
Yeah. What kinds of things do you remember doing as a kid for fun?
We played baseball a lot. We went swimming in some of the ponds in Wooddale, which you can't do now. We'd go bicycle riding, just walking around Wooddale, hanging out at the shopping centers and malls and stuff. And Wooddale always had a good park district with the pool, which you've been to. That was really cool. So that's the kind of things we did.
Are there any friends you made when you were younger that you still know today?
Absolutely. Several of them. Joe W., you've met him, Joe Wiesneth. I started out in kindergarten with him, and he stayed in Wooddale his whole life also. And he only lives down the block.
Which friend have you known the longest?
Joe W. I've known him since just before kindergarten, which I've known him for 43 years.
And do you still talk to most of your friends that you made when you were younger?
I talk to him, yeah. I don't see him as much as I'd like because everybody moves away to get married and stuff like that. But there are several that I still hang out with.
And who are they?
Joe W., my friend Danny. I don't know if you've met him, but he lives in Crystal Lake now, but he lives in Wooddale, so I see him so often. Michael Wiesneth is an electrician there. He's building a house there. He's big into the construction. That's about it.
When you were older, like when you were in high school, what type of crowd would you say you fit in with the most?
I was between two, the jocks, because I like to play football and wrestling and stuff like that, but also the, I guess you'd call them gearheads, the guys that work on cars and stuff like that. So we used to do that a lot. We'd go racing around with cars, so I was kind of split between the two.
Where would you, like, if you were in high school now, where would you be found hanging out after school?
After school, I'd probably be in the same place I was back then, in the pinball arcade. So after school, that's the first thing we do is head for the pinball arcade and then the McDonald's.
Yeah. Did your group of friends change after you began getting older, or did they stay the same?
No, they changed. Because once you're out of school and you go to the workforce, your interests obviously change. I went to the airport and all my friends went to colleges and stuff like that, so the people I knew in high school, basically I don't know anymore.
I know that today you're really into music, so what kind of music did you listen to back then?
When I was in high school, it was pretty limited. There was disco, rock and roll, and some country. There wasn't really a choice.
Did any of it change you or help you become who you are today?
Yeah, absolutely. Disco was such a big thing. that if you were into it, you went out and you bought all these clothes and these crazy outfits and stuff, and then you went and tried to dance in it, and you learned that you kind of look like a fool. So you go on to other bigger and better things.
Did you go to a lot of concerts when you were younger?
Yes. From 1976 till about 1991, I probably saw 500 concerts.
Wow. So tell me like a couple of the most memorable moments you had at a concert.
At concerts,
Yeah.
I learned not to drink when you go to a concert because we went to an REO Speedwagon concert at Alpine Valley. It's outside on a grass hill.
Yeah.
One of my friends was drunk,
Yeah.
and somebody in front of him kept standing up and he told her not to.
Mhm.
So he poured beer on her, and she pushed him down the mountain in the mud.
Mhm.
He couldn't get his feet, and he went all the way down to the stage in the mud. And they threw him out after that because he was drunk and muddy.
Oh.
So that was one important thing, don't drink.
Alright. You must have a lot of jobs when you were younger. I mean, which job would you say you've enjoyed the most?
The airport was the best one, but then working at a fast food restaurant when I was in high school was absolutely a ton of fun. It's a great job. You learn a lot. You learn a lot.
Like, what kind of jobs did you have? Like, just name them.
I worked as a dishwasher, a pot washer. I made pizzas. I moved cars for a short time for a Fensel Tufo Chevrolet when they wanted a used car one place. You drive them back and forth. I sold steaks from a truck. I did some body work for a short time. And I went to the airport and refueled a plane. I was an electrician, and then I did some plumbing. I managed a trailer park. I think that covers it.
Do you like managing the trailer park?
Yeah, I do, but it comes with a lot more headaches than any of the other jobs.
Like,
because
what's the biggest responsibility about, managing a whole trailer park?
the biggest thing is people's safety.
Yeah.
Like with water issues and stuff like that,
Yeah.
the laws that pertain to water are very, very strict. And there's certain things that you have to do in a certain sequence to make sure that the water stays good, because it would be very easy to get people really sick with your water supply. So you have to be very careful with that.
Yeah, so, what do you, like, love about it? What's something you absolutely love about the trailer park?
The people, all the goofy people that you get to meet, because no two people in there are alike.
Yeah,
Like, it's funny because I've known some of them so long, they're like family members.
yeah.
And they treat you like that. They have no regard for politeness or rudeness or something. They're like brother or sister, they'll just barge in and tell you
Yeah.
this, that, and the other thing. But the people are the best thing about it.
Okay.